Good morning and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Do you know I love getting your day started off on the right foot? And to do that, I use an inspiring quote. And today it comes to you from Walter Scott, who says, "Unless a tree has borne blossoms in spring, you will vainly look for fruit on it in autumn." Think about that for a second. That talks about growth. Now, I know they're talking about a tree, but apply it to your life. You know, the Bible talks all about seed time and harvest. It talks about growth. It talks about being fruitful. What kind of fruit are you producing in your life? Yeah, there's one particular scripture that lends itself very well to this inspiring quote. It's from John 15. "I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener." This is Jesus talking. "He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes so that it will be even more fruitful." So my question to you today is, what kind of fruit are you producing in your life? Is it good? Is it big? Is it juicy? Is it satisfying? Or is it shriveled? Is it small? Is it bitter? You know, we should be striving to produce that fruit in our lives that is so attractive to others, that it affords us the opportunity to share with them what's different about us. So I want to challenge you now, if you've not been living that way, make a little change here and there. Sweeten that fruit a little bit. Let's fertilize it. Let's make sure it's getting enough water. How do you do that? Well, you do that by putting yourself around people who are like that. It kind of rubs off on you. I love how it's contagious. Not only that, but you do that as well by getting into your Bible just a little bit deeper, by having a few more conversations with God. Yeah, prayer, reading the Bible. That helps to cultivate within us everything we need to grow that fruit, and the Holy Spirit helps it to get bigger and bigger. And yeah, I know that the pruning, sometimes that can hurt, but guess what? It's just so you can produce more fruit. Think about that for a second. If you're being pruned, it's because you have the propensity to build more fruit. You can grow bigger and better and juicier and sweeter. So I want you to remember that today. What kind of fruit are you producing? Is it the kind that you're attracted to? Is it the kind that you would buy from the grocery store? Well, if not, like I said, let's just make those few little tweaks, those few little changes day by day, and you watch what happens to your fruit. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. And I'm trying to grow, and I hope I'm doing an all right job, but can I do better? You better believe I can. I think we all can, right? No, let's just keep growing together. We're talking about growing bigger fruit in our lives, and I've got a little tip for you coming up that's going to help you tremendously. So stick around. Okay, so when you look for fruit at the grocery store, what exactly are you looking for? Well, I'll tell you what I'm looking for. I don't want to see any bruises on the outside, right? Get a hold of a banana that's got a big black spot on it? No, thank you. I'm going to leave that one right there, and I'm going to grab a bunch that doesn't have that, right? Or maybe it's an apple. If it's got a bruise spot, forget about it. And if it's not quite red, if it's still kind of green looking, I'm not getting that one either because I want it to be sweet. So think about how fruit is. And think about your life. Now, if you were a piece of fruit, would anybody pick you up off the shelf? Ooh, that's a good question, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Are you big and juicy? Do you have a beautiful outside? Do you have a delicious inside? Are you everything that you'd look for in a piece of fruit? Don't get too literal with it because, yeah, I'm round two. But anyway, I came across a little tip, a trick on how to make yourself a little more appealing. But this is so cool because it's more than just fruit. It's being trustworthy, dependable, honest, being a good friend. All these great characteristics that we look for in people. And it can be done by applying this one principle to your life. Take a listen.
If you want to be more confident, feel better about yourself, take bigger risks, there's one change you need to make right now. Focus on keeping your word to yourself. If you say you're going to get out of bed early, get out of bed early. If you say you're going to go for a walk, Go for a walk. Even though it's raining, go for the walk. When you keep the promise you made to yourself that you're going to stay in this weekend and work on your business plan, you're going to cut gluten out of your diet. Keeping that promise to yourself builds self-confidence, self-worth. It builds momentum, simple discipline. It's honestly like the key to everything.
Yeah, Mel promised herself that she'd get out there and walk. And she was walking in the rain, by the way. That's where she shot that video. So, what do you think? Just simple discipline like that. I think it'll build great character that's very appealing to other people. But hey, it's not really about them. It's more about how are you filling out what God has given you? How are you growing in the way that He is showing you to live? That's the biggest question. That's the biggest takeaway. You apply that one principle to your life, things are going to get better. Here's Danny Gokey with Love God, Love People. You know what? I've got a feeling it's going to be a pretty good day. And your word of life will put you in the right headspace for it. So it's from Philippians chapter 4, verse 9 in the New Living Translation of the Bible. Keep putting into practice all you learned and received from me, everything you heard from me and saw me doing. Then the God of peace will be with you. Wow. You know, we have got to have a model to pattern our lives after. And, well, who is that? Well, right there, I mean, that's Paul talking, but we look to Jesus as well. The characteristics of his life. How did he live? How did he treat others? Let's pattern our lives after his. Yeah, the world would be a better place if we all did that, wouldn't it? Again, that's Philippians 4:9 in the New Living Translation of the Bible. And you can share it with your friends and family from our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, or X and TikTok pages. We'd be honored if you do that. You can also find it at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. And that's also where you can find out about some amazing concerts, like one that you're going to have a chance to win some tickets to later on in the show. Yeah. So I've been feeling this one with every fiber of my being. I don't know about you, but are you at that point in your life where errands start counting as going out? We don't go out that much anymore. I don't know if it's COVID that got us so used to the house or what it was, but you know, I was just walking down the aisle there at Walmart last night. I had to pick up some toilet paper. And it's something I'd forgotten, so Cassie and Grace are waiting on me at the front of the store. I went back there to get it, and as I was walking back through, I just kind of took a second to people watch for a minute, you know, just see how people are interacting with one another. Just kind of take it all in, because I don't get out that often. How about you? Well, anyway, I guess that's part of getting older. You just like what you know, and you decide, hey, you know, I got what I like right here at home, so I'm just going to spend my time here. That's fine. It's kind of funny though, isn't it? Yeah. Coming up here in about 17 minutes, I'm going to have this thing called the Car Line Competition. Somebody's going to be winning some gift cards. Will it be you? And I want you to know this, that the winning doesn't end there. No, later on in the show, we're giving away a family 4-pack of tickets to the Elevation Nights concert that's happening this Sunday in Birmingham. So be listening for your chance to win. Finally, my bills are washed, laundry is paid, clothes are baking, and dinner is in the dryer. I've got this. Little confusing, huh? Countless hours spent with multiple children at one time, many days, throughout a week, throughout the year. It's teachers. What kind of stories did they have to tell? Well, let me tell you, they've got some pretty interesting ones because we got some pretty creative kids, some quirky kids who are just figuring out life. And you know what? Sometimes they're funny stories. Other times, they are stories that will touch your heart. But I'm so glad that I found some teachers who are willing to share their stories. And this guy, his name is Matt Ike. And you hear from him from time to time here on the show. And he's been teaching for a while. So here's one of his stories that I absolutely love.
Hello, my name is Matt. I'm a teacher, and today I have a story about sushi. I was teaching 6th grade at the time, but I also worked in the cafeteria. Because being a teacher doesn't mean you wear a couple hats, you wear all of them. I noticed one of my students, Lynn, was carrying in a bunch of Tupperware into the cafeteria. I shouted a quick joke, "Hey Lynn, you bring all that for me?" He pivoted and came right up to me. "I was eating sushi yesterday and a lot of my friends said that they'd never tried it and had a lot of questions, so I made some and brought it in for them to try. Do you want some too, Mr. Ike?" So I joined Lynn and his friends as Lynn passed around his sushi and explained how him and his grandmother made it every weekend as a tradition. There is something unique to this story, 2 things. Obviously Lynn's kindness and willingness to give. But don't forget about his friends because they approached it with genuine curiosity too. And when you put those 2 things together, you know what you get? An inclusive experience where one person got to share their culture and it was celebrated by others. What's better than that, man? What is better than that?
What a beautiful story. And there's something about that genuine curiosity of kids who see somebody who doesn't look quite like them and they find out they have traditions that they don't have. And so they want to learn more. I love that. It's so innocent and it's worth talking about. So thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Now, I've got a good feeling somebody's going to be winning some gift cards very, very soon. I hope it's you, but we'll find out just how fast those fingers are coming up very shortly. Say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Give me the horn! All right, now let's crank that engine. Let's start the music so I can say, hey, everybody, it's time to play the Car Line Competition. Your chance to win some gift cards. And we've got some good ones. Yep, to Wendy's for a Frosty, to Albertville Home Bakery for a couple of cupcakes or cookies, your choice, and to the Caring Heart Thrift Store in Arab. Oh, it's a win-win-win. And when you call me up and answer this trivia question correctly, and you're the first to do it, you win all 3. And we want you to keep one and give the other 2 away to 2 very special people. And then I get to ask you about those people, so you get to share some love with them on the radio. It's so much fun. Are you ready to play? I sure hope so, because I got the first question ready for you. Which of these measurements is longest? A mile, a yard, or a kilometer? 256-505-0885 is a number to call. Again, which of these measurements is longest? Is it the mile, the yard, or the kilometer? Oh, I've already got my caller. Wow. Stay on the phone line with me while I start this next song and I'll get your answer. Here's Patrick Mayberry and Lead On, Good Shepherd. Hey, Bud Williams, what's up, my friend?
The pelvis.
The pelvis is correct. Congratulations, sir. Yes, you got it.
Roll them 3 over.
All right, we'll do it, bud. Yep. Sometimes Bud calls in just to win them and roll them over just to make it a little sweeter for the next caller. So, hey, that's exactly what he did this time. All right, such a big heart he has. Tell you what, I got another question here, and I think maybe you have the answer I'm looking for. So let's find out. In language, which of these words would be described as onomatopoeia? Is it splash, run, jump, or sleep? 256-505-0885 is a number to call. Again, in language, which of these words will be described as onomatopoeia? Is it splash, run, jump, or sleep? There is my caller. I'm going to capture this. Stay on the phone with me while I start this next song, and I'll get your answers. Cody Carnes with Firm Foundation. Good morning.
Good morning.
I think it's so funny that you are calling me because I know this is your favorite word.
Huh?
Isn't this your favorite word?
Onomatopoeia?
Yeah.
Okay.
No? It's my favorite word. I thought I stole it from you. I thought it was your favorite word first, and then I stole it.
I don't remember. My favorite word is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Another good one. Very, very cool. All right, so the question is this. In language, which of these words would be described as onomatopoeia? Is it splash, run, jump, or sleep?
It's splash.
It is splash, you teacher, you.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job. 6 gift cards.
Not for me.
Not for
somebody else.
Oh, you rolling them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 6 just became 9 gift cards. You rock. We got a train going now.
Hey, I'm just excited to hear who's going to end up getting him. Like yesterday,
Right?
when Evelyn had somebody perfect to give them to,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be somebody perfect today, too, to give them to.
I think so. God has a really cool way of working that kind of stuff out, so I can't wait to see it too.
Hey, it's homecoming for Fairview this week.
Oh, that's right.
And today is music genre concert day. Is what it is. So
And-
I am wearing my Christian shirt that says, "If the stars were made to worship, so will I."
Ooh, 100 billion times. I love that song.
Yes, you know,
Yeah.
play that one. That would be great.
I'll do it.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, love you.
Love you too, babe.
All right, bye.
Bye. My wife Cassie getting in on the action this morning, rolling those gift cards over. You heard that, right? We got a little bit of a train rolling through here. So that means we got 9 gift cards up for grabs, all attached to this question right here. Which vowel is silent in the word guitar? Is it I, T, U, or A? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, which vowel is silent in the word guitar? Is it I, T, U, or A? There's my caller. I got it captured. Stay on the phone line with me while I start that song that she requested. It's Hillsong United, and so will I, 100 billion times. All right, I'm going to pause that song right there because I got a caller, but I did not get the right answer. So I will tell you, we'll take one letter off the board. Okay, here's the question. Which vowel is silent in the word guitar? Is it I, T, or U? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, 256-505-0885. And there is my caller. I'm going to capture that right now. Stay on the phone line while we pick up that song right where we left it off. Well, we've been playing the car line competition, and we've had multiple rollovers this morning. We've had a little bit of a train happening this morning because people just, they call in, they win, and then they say, hey, I just want to roll it over to the next person. And I'm like, we can totally do that. I love seeing where it all ends up. So who's going to cash out on all these gift cards? Well, guess what? I just had a caller on this last question. It's all about the silent vowel in the word guitar. And I love word problems. Ask my family. I love watching Wheel of Fortune like every night. I'm not quite Rain Man-esque on that, but yeah, at 6:30 every night, it's Wheel of Fortune. So anyway, let's hear that caller, and I think you're going to love this call. Good morning.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, I was just telling Marilyn, I'm like, I've got to jump on that one because I can give all the gift cards to Firecracker Worship.
Hey, that sounds like a great idea.
If I get it right.
Yeah, if you get it right. I've got a pretty good idea you are going to get it right. So here we go, Miss Alicia. Which vowel is silent in the word guitar? Is it I, T, or U?
U.
Oh, Alicia. Oh, my goodness. No, you got it right. Congratulations. I had to mess with you.
I was going over in my head. I'm like, okay, it's going to be guitar. No, it's guitar.
Exactly. Yep, you just won 9 gift cards. Those kids in Firecracker Worship are going to be so happy.
They are, and they will get them this Sunday.
Very cool. All right. Well, hey, I want you to shout out a couple people that really mean a lot to you today.
Oh, that's a tough one, but I have 3 right off the top of my head.
All right, let's hear about them.
Through a really rough time right now, and that is Marilyn Irby and Sanji Morrow and Virgil. That was his last name.
He shall just be known as Virgil.
Yes.
He knows who he is. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I really appreciate you. Appreciate what you're doing.
Oh, thank you, Miss Alicia. I know you've been in this seat before, too.
Oh, yes, and it was awesome, and I know you're enjoying it.
I am. I'm having a blast. Because I get to talk with people like you every day, Miss Alicia. I'm going to make sure you get these gift cards, and we'll get some happy kids, okay?
All right, have a great day.
All right, you too. Bye. So much fun. You never know where all these gift cards are going to end up, but God has a way of working that kind of stuff out, and I'm always happy to see where they land. I think you enjoy it too. There's some people who are like, I've tried and tried and tried, and I can't get through to play the car line competition. To which I will respond, I'm so sorry you haven't gotten through, but keep trying. Your turn is coming. So we'll play it again tomorrow at 7 o'clock. But hey, keep it tuned here because I've got a chance for you to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Elevation Nights concert happening this Sunday in Birmingham. It's Elevation Worship with Stephen Furtick. It's going to be amazing. A family 4-pack up for grabs later on in the show. So keep it tuned right here. And if you have to step away from your radio, tune us in online, 885jfm.com. Click that On Now button, press play, and you're good to go. All right, let's get a song in here, then we'll have your drive time devotion.
This is Pastor Gary Kraft with your Drive Time Devotion. Hearing children pray is always precious. Like many Christian parents, we taught our kids to say a simple little prayer over our meals, and it always included thanking God. We usually celebrated when they tried to recite the prayer. But at some point, it was time to go from a memorized recitation of thanks to a heartfelt expression. A friend told me recently that he always tried to start his day and end his day with thanking God for everything. I've realized how important that approach can be for our attitude. We won't struggle nearly as much with negativity, complaining, and accusing when we start and finish a day with gratitude, giving God credit for everything good in our lives. That's kind of what Christ was teaching his disciples when he finished the Lord's Prayer with a little praise session. For yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I know some ancient manuscripts don't include those last few words, but they are biblical and appropriate. God is the source of everything good, and how fitting to start and end everything that way, recognizing his generous goodness every time we pray, or wake up, or go to bed, or go to work, or whatever we do. Start and finish with gratitude and praise. Let's pray. Father, we acknowledge that all good things are from you. You are our everything. We praise you and thank you for all that you do, all that you are, and all that you desire. In Jesus' name, amen.
Well, I'd really like to shout some people out right now. Those listening to us on the stream, I see you, Joe Modest, down in Palm Coast, Florida, hanging out with us. Thank you for making us part of your day. Also, we've got Huntsville, Arab, and Gunnersville hanging out. I think that might be Savannah listening to us there in Gunnersville. Plus, we got our listeners in Helsinki, Finland, and we've got all of our radio listeners on that FM dial. Thank you for making us part of your day. Plus, we have all of our listeners on the podcast. That's right, over on Spotify. You can find this show right there. You'll find it this morning at 10:15. You can go and listen to it at your leisure. You can share it with friends and family. We'd love for you to do that. Just trying to make people's day better. You know what I mean? So thanks for hanging out. Whether it's on the radio, on the stream, or even on the podcast. And while I was talking, we had somebody brand new pop on over in Germany. Thank you for making us part of your day as well. We think it's pretty awesome that you're here. I believe he's one of the hardest working men in show business. It's Steve Harvey. He's got his own radio show in the morning. He's also the host of Family Feud in multiple countries. He also does Judge Steve Harvey, and he's got everything else going on the socials. And he has a little something to say about his faith, and I think it's so encouraging.
You can't tell God how to bless you. See, you can't tell him what you want and then tell him how to do it. Because it ain't going to ever be the way you want it to. Because if where you at today, if God had showed you what you would have to go through to get to where you are today, you would turn back. You would go, oh, no. I don't want that part. I don't want to do that. I don't want that part. You would have missed who you are today. Because in order to get to who you are, you had to go through every single thing you went through. You wouldn't even know what you know. You know, you hear old people say all the time, you can't have a testimony without a test.
His mission in life is to build a time machine so that the elephants and dinosaurs can meet each other. And he's working on it. I'll tell you what Mom is doing to kind of fuel that creativity, and you're going to love it, so stick around. Fueling creativity that lasts hours and hours for every project, this mom is an absolute genius, and I can't wait to tell you about her. She's got this thing called the Invention Box. It's basically just one of those big Rubbermaid totes that's full of stuff. Yeah, she came up with this idea, and I think that you are gonna love it. Her name is Kelsey Pomeroy, and I'm just gonna let her spell it out for you. I'll let her explain what she does, and you see if maybe this will work in your household and might give you some free time, Mom and Dad.
Let's refresh my son's invention box. The Inventor's Box buys me hours of time. It's just a box full of junk and trash that I give my son free reign to make inventions with. It seriously takes up like hours of his time. I always give him glue, scissors, a hole puncher, and tape, like these little clips too. Post-it note, costume jewelry, baby toy, broken fan, flashlight, hanger, some paper, string. I save different containers for him. Googly eyes are a must-have for the Invention Box. So if you have a small baby, I wouldn't put anything that is too small or chokeable in here. For months, my son has said that he wants to build a time machine so that the dinosaurs and elephants can meet each other. Ribbon. It does get messy. A tip to cut down on the mess is to, I lay out like an old shower curtain liner that we use or a blanket, and I say everything he invents has to stay on the blanket, and then I can just kind of scoop the blanket up and dump it right back in the box. All right, he's ready to invent, and I'm ready to have lots of free time.
A life hack for all of us parents with small kids. So you must have googly eyes. That's the one necessity in the invention box. But how genius is that? And yeah, she says that her son actually plays for like 40 to 60 minutes at a time on these little projects, making little inventions from all the stuff in that box. So yeah, what do you think about that? Hey, if you enjoy some good life hacks, I've got another great one for you coming up here on the show that's going to help me out tremendously the next time I make chicken salad, and I think it's going to help you too. So I'll share it with you coming up shortly. And remember, you've got a chance of winning a family 4-pack of tickets to the Elevation Nights concert coming up very soon. So be listening. And if you have to step away from your radio, tune us in online, 885jfm.com. Click that On Now button, press play, and you're good to go. Okay, let's take a trip down memory lane together. All right, so when I was in high school, I was so focused on getting good grades because I wanted to get a scholarship. Nobody in my family had ever gone to college, and so I wanted to be the first one. You ask anybody I went to school with, they'll tell you that I was weird because I did not have a girlfriend at all. No, I was too focused on my studies. I tried so hard to get into the top 10 of my class, and I thought I had it until we had a transfer from another school. He had a weighted GPA, and he beat me out. He took that 10th spot, and your boy here, well, I got 11th in my class. I'm like, gosh, I just missed it, you know? But I feel vindicated now because I'm part of a top 10 list. That's right, and if you're an Alabamian, you are too. Yeah, number 9 on the top 10 list, but still on the list. What am I talking about? Well, the stickiest states in America. I know, it leaves you open-ended, right? You're wondering, Stephen, what do you mean by stickiest? And don't worry, it's nothing gross. It's actually something pretty cool. Stick around and we will talk about it next. Okay, the top 10 stickiest states in America. Let's get into it, shall we? Let me get a little music going underneath me here, and we shall start. All right, the stickiest states. Am I talking about the states with the most tree sap? No, but don't get under one of those sappy trees. You're going to be washing that car for days, right? I'm talking about the things that make you stick around. You were born in the state, and you decided to just stay there. You didn't move away. You're just blooming where you're planted. Yeah, we made the top 10 list here in Alabama. The 10th spot goes to Michigan. 71.5 people born there choose to stick around. Why? Well, because of excellent universities to choose from. When you graduate, then the cost of living and housing prices are just a bit lower than the national average. So there you go. There's just some of the reasons why people stick around Michigan. Number 9 is us, right here in Alabama. So let's see, 71.6% of us Alabamians want to stick around. Why? Well, because of the temperate climate and geographical diversity, miles of coastline on our beaches, mountains, and prairie lands, and college football. Those are some of the biggest draws and what keep us here in the state of Alabama, according to this research. And number 8 is South Carolina. Yep, 71.9% of people want to stick around there because of natural beauty, low cost of living, and warm weather. Also, geographic diversity, mountains and beaches and cities, and the cost of living is lower than other parts of the country. I'm starting to see a trend here. How about you? Number 7 is Wisconsin. 72.5% of native-born residents want to stick around there. Why? Diverse landscapes, natural beauty, and bustling cities. And Wisconsinites seem to have found all that they need. Number 6 comes in with Florida. What's not to love about Florida, right? Well, I can tell you that I have family who grew up in Florida, and they will tell you that it is way too crowded. In fact, my aunt and uncle moved from Florida, and now they live in Madison, and they are loving the change. Yeah, and my other cousins who were down there, well, they moved to Decatur. So most all of our family now is up here in the state of Alabama. It's kind of cool how that worked out because everything started down there in Florida. All right, so why do people stick around in Florida? Well, let's see. Warm weather, miles and miles of beaches, and the economy is thriving. Yeah. Number 5 is Utah. Quite a lot of people hanging around there. I wonder why. Well, excellent school systems, booming economy, strong infrastructure, cultural happenings, stunning natural beauty, and low crime rate. Number 4 is California. Whoa, California? Made the list? I thought people were moving out of that place. Well, evidently some are, but a lot of people still sticking around. 73% of people born there stay there. Gorgeous weather, diverse terrain, scores of cultural opportunities, and a thriving economy going on in California. Number 3, our neighbor, Georgia. Yeah, 74.2% of people stick around. Why? Well, you know it's because of the Southern charm, of course. And yeah, the food too. Yeah, so good stuff happening in Georgia. Number 2, North Carolina. Yeah, 75.5% of native-born North Carolinians stay there. Why? Temperate climate, a flat income tax. It's 4.75%, by the way, which is lower than the national average. Diverse and growing job market and a wide range of geographic options. And finally, number 1, you know what they say, everything's bigger in Texas. Yeah, 82.2% of native-born Texans stick around. Why is that? Well, above average job growth, a lower than average tax rate, and the cost of living in general is 8% lower in Texas. So there you go, the top 10 stickiest states in America. And now you know that you're on the list. How cool is that? I finally made a top 10 list. I came in 11th in my class in high school, but now I'm on the number 9 spot in the top 10. It feels good. Well, he done gone and did it. Yeah. You see, Joel Modis, listening to us down in Palm Coast, Florida. Well, he texted me just a few minutes ago, and he said, have any dad jokes this morning? Joel, are you sure you want to get me started on dad jokes? Because I could tell them for days. But I've got one cooking for you. I think you're going to love it. So stick around and I'll get into my dad joke after this. It's Rachel Lampa and somebody to you. You might regret asking me about this dad joke because it might be a good joke, but then again, it might fall really flat. We're about to find out though. Let me check and see if it's done real quick. Yep, I can pull it out of the oven now. I've been working on this little dad joke. I've been cooking it up just for Joel Modis. And we're going to find out how well it does. Is it going to be funny or is it going to fall flat? Well, it should fall flat if it's a dad joke, but it might have a little humor to it. You never know. You be the judge. Okay, here we go. So there's a magician. You know, one of those top hat magicians, right? He's got the big black hat. He pulls the bunny out of the hat, except his bunny, I don't think his bunny was feeling too good. He noticed that his bunny just was not acting right. So he decided to take this bunny to the vet. He shows up. He finally gets back into a room. The vet comes in and says, hey, sir, what can I do for you? He said, well, you see, I'm a magician and my rabbit's been acting a little funny here lately. So he says, all right, well, let me see it. So he pulls his hat off and he reaches down into his hat and he pulls the bunny out and he puts it over on the table. And it's just limp. It's just laying there. It's not moving at all, and the vet looks very concerned. He looks down at this bunny, takes his stethoscope, starts to listen for a heartbeat, and then, within a few seconds, he looks regretfully up at the magician and says, I'm sorry, sir, but your bunny's dead. The magician says, no, that can't be right. I just don't believe it. I need a second opinion. So, the vet says, okay. He opens the door, and his Labrador retriever, his dog, comes into the room, comes over to the table, hops up there, sniffs the bunny, turns around, and walks out. Yep, the vet says, I'm sorry, sir, but my dog says that your rabbit's dead. He said, I just won't believe it until I get a third opinion. And the vet said, okay, well, I can totally make that happen. He opens the door again, and his cat comes in the room, hops up on the table, sniffs at the bunny, turns around, goes out the door. And he said, sir, I'm sorry, but my cat says that your bunny rabbit is dead. He said, okay, 3 opinions is enough. I'll believe it now. All right, so what do I owe you, doc? And the vet comes back into the room in a few minutes with a bill and hands it to him. And the magician looks at it in shock. He's like, whoa, why is this so expensive to tell me that my rabbit is dead? He said, well, sir, you see, it was more expensive because we had to have lab results and a CAT scan. You see, the Labrador retriever and the cat, lab results and a CAT scan. That's what made it so expensive. You like that one? Was that a good dad joke? Yeah? I sure hope so. You know, I embrace the words of Charlotte Ann Tucker when she said this.
Some people are afraid to be corny, but not me. I live life on the cob.
Living life on the cob. That's right. Here's Taryn Wells with Joy in the Morning. Now, your word of life. Today from Philippians chapter 4, verse 9, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. Keep putting into practice all you learned and received from me, everything you heard from me and saw me doing. Then the God of peace will be with you. I love that. You know, we need to find some mentors in our lives that we can pattern our lives after. We can kind of see, hey, that's how that's done. Oh, that's how you walk that out. That's how that scripture comes to life. Yeah, because, hey, it takes a little inspiration. And then, you know what? We need to be inspiration for somebody else. We need to show them how this thing is done too. Not that we ever truly arrive, but that we're trying to get there, you know? Why don't you share that word of life with somebody? We've got it ready for you across all of our socials and at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. I just want to shout out Nikki. She's listening to us right now up in Owensboro, Kentucky. Hope you're having a great morning. Also, we got Huntsville and Arab, Gunnersville, and Boaz right here in North Alabama. We've got Joel Modest down in Palm Coast, Florida. By the way, I did get a response from Joel on my dad joke that I shared a few minutes ago. He said, "We are cracking up. What a groaner." I said, haha, thank you. I knew it wouldn't disappoint. I can't forget to shout out those people listening to us over in Helsinki, Finland as well. And all of you on the radio, plus our listeners on the podcast. Yeah, over on Spotify. Did you know that this show will be there at 10:15 this morning? All the talking segments, so you can hear it again, or if you missed something, well, you can catch up. And if you'd like to share it with somebody, we would be honored if you do that. All you have to do is search Lifeline Morning Show Podcast on Spotify, and you will find it there. All right, you need to stick around because a chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Elevation Nights concert is coming up very shortly. Are you going to win them? I sure hope so, but we'll find out soon. Listen for the cue to call, okay? I have been very happy with how these muscadines and scuffenons and all the other great-looking things have been coming in lately. Oh my goodness. My mother-in-law, she's got these vines, and they are heavenly. The things were loaded this year. Her kiwi bushes barely have any kiwis on them. And yes, you can grow kiwi in North Alabama, and usually those things are loaded, but not this year. I think maybe the cold got to them. But I think maybe these vines loved the cold because they put on so much. In fact, I brought some to work with me today, trying to give them away to some other people. But they are delicious. But there's one thing that I think of when I think of grapes or muscadine, stuff like that, and that is getting those things off the vine. It's real easy when you go and pick them just individually, sure, like those muscadines. But when you have a bunch of grapes in a bag you buy from Walmart, you get it to the house, and then you have to put them in something, well, you got to make sure they come off the vine, and that can be a painstaking task. I mean, you pluck them, make sure those little stems come out too, because nobody wants to get that stuck in their teeth. But did you know there's a hack to help you with that? Yeah, I'll go through the whole process of how I make chicken salad, and we're going to incorporate this new hack into it, and I think it's going to make your next chicken salad dinner just a little bit easier. So stick around. Okay, so I'm not a Michelin star chef by any stretch of the imagination, but I can whip up some breakfast. Oh, biscuit and gravy, I got that down. Pancakes, you better believe it, I make them from scratch. And the biscuits, I make those from scratch too. You can ask my wife. Those things are the bomb. I know we don't use that terminology anymore, but I do. Fine, they're off the chain. Okay, fine, I'll do it. Gen Z, it slaps. How about that? Well, hey, I want to tell you a little life hack for you when it comes to making chicken salad. Not exactly breakfast food, but that's the other thing I'm pretty good at making. Oh, and spaghetti. I love making spaghetti. It's easy. I learned that in home ec in high school. Yep, I was the guy who took home ec, and it paid off because it's so good. But anyway, let's get back to the chicken salad. All right, so when I make chicken salad, I have just a few ingredients, right? You've got to have the boneless, skinless chicken breast. That's usually what I buy. I'll put that in the pressure cooker with a little bit of water and butter and salt and pepper in that water. Close it up, and I let it for about 20 minutes, right? So while that's going, I got to get the other stuff. So I put pecans in mine, not pecans. That's an impromptu bathroom. Pecans, that's what they're called. I know you're listening, Nikki. That's the reason why I said that. Anyway, got to chop those pecans up a little bit and get those ready. Don't quite put them in yet because, everything goes in the bowl at the same time. But the most painstaking process of this whole thing is getting the grapes ready to go. Yep, usually red seedless grapes. You got to get them off the vine. So what do? I take the whole bunch out of the bag, put them down into a colander, put them into the sink and just wash them off a little bit, drain them, and then I go about making sure that all the stems are pulled out, that everything is off the vine, that all the grapes look delicious and there are no bad spots, right? Quality control. So that takes forever. Don't get me started on slicing those suckers in half because that takes forever too, especially if you do them one by one. So here's the hack that I already use, okay? So if you want to slice a bunch of those grapes in half at one time, get 2 plates. Put one of them upside down on your kitchen countertop. Take the grapes, put them all there on the bottom of that plate, which is now the top of the plate because you got it flipped over, right? Take another plate and put it bottom down on top of those grapes. So now you've got a pressure point and you can hold your hand on top of that plate while you take a really long knife and you slice between the bottoms of the plates, and that slices the grapes in half. You got to be careful that you don't get too little or too much. You want to get them just right in the middle. And you can do 20 grapes at one time by doing that. Yeah. You know how long that would take if you did them individually? Way too long. So that's the one hack that I already use. I thought I was pretty smart for knowing that, but I just found out another hack when it comes to those grapes. Instead of pulling them off the vine and making sure all the stems are gone individually, you can actually wash them, go ahead and rinse them off, take the vine and put the whole cluster of grapes onto a towel. Close that towel up, wrap it up, apply a little pressure, and start rolling that towel around. Kind of like you're doing a rolling pin when you're making pasta, or you're making biscuit dough, or whatever you're doing, making pizza, whatever you want to call it. All right. So you kind of apply a little gentle pressure and start rolling those grapes within the towel, and voila, they are off of the vine and no little stems. Now, don't trust it too much. You probably want to check and make sure there are no little stems on there, but that's the easier way of getting them off of the vine. What do you think about that? Something you could use? Yeah? Okay, so let's keep going with the recipe. So I got the grapes, I got the pecans, not pecans. I've got the chicken. Now, the wet ingredients you got to have, I was thinking about this earlier. It's 3 parts sour cream, 2 parts mayonnaise. I don't like too much mayonnaise in there, but I do like it wet. So the sour cream helps with that. Sour cream and mayonnaise together. And then once you mix it all up together, here's the other hack. I almost forgot about this. When you take the boneless, skinless chicken breast out of the pressure cooker and it's ready to be shredded up, right? Now, do you stand there with 2 forks and shred it by hand? Nay, don't do that anymore. What you need is a mixer. The mixer, the kind that you use to mix up a cake mix? Those beaters. Go ahead and put the beaters in. Put that chicken in a deep bowl. Not too deep because you want your beaters to reach it. Turn that thing on the low setting and put those beaters down on that chicken and watch the magic happen. It shreds it like magic and you don't have carpal tunnel after shredding through the chicken. So that's how you shred the chicken. So you got 3 hacks. Man, I'm giving away some valuable information today. Okay, so then you mix it all together. You got to have a little garlic powder or garlic salt, depending on how salty you want it, right? Mix it all together. It is delicious. Put it on top of a bed of lettuce. Have some crackers on standby, and you have a delicious chicken salad dinner. And then hopefully leftovers for the next day for lunch. So there you go. And it's even better the second day because all the flavors have melded together, and it's beautiful. Magic in your mouth. Can you tell I like food? Yeah, a little too much, right? Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Just trying to make that time in the kitchen a little better, make things a little easier. Right now, it's your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Elevation Nights concert happening this Sunday, October 8th in Birmingham at the Legacy Arena. A family 4-pack of tickets. Be the first caller at 256-505-0885. Again, 256-505-0885. 0885. We're talking about a family 4-pack of tickets to the Elevation Nights concert with Elevation Worship and Stephen Furtick. It's going to be a blast, and your chance to win right now. 256-505-0885. 88.5 JFM. Good morning.
Hello?
Hey, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
I'm doing all right. What's your name?
Amy Sims.
Amy Sims. You heard this cue to call. It's like, hey, call me now and you could win a family 4-pack of tickets to the Elevation Nights concert. And you're like, hey, that sounds like a good time to me. So you called.
Absolutely.
And you just won.
I am so excited. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Thank you for listening to this radio station. Could I ask you a really cool question?
Absolutely.
Why do you listen to this station?
To feed my spirit.
Oh, I love that. Wow, that's good stuff. You know, we're just trying to provide music and a message that makes your day better. Are we doing an okay job?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Very good. Well, all right then. I need to grab your email address real quick so I can get these sent to you.
Okay.
I will get that family 4-pack sent your way.
Thank
all right.
you.
You're very welcome. I'll be.
I appreciate you so much.
Oh, well, we're
And
glad.
what y'all do.
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. All right. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
That's it. That's all the tickets. I just gave them all away, and I am looking forward to those people. I'm looking forward to Amy Sims going and having a good time. I'm looking forward to Chris Lawrence going and having a good time. And I'm looking forward to our other winner, who won the family 4-pack of tickets. They're going to have an amazing time as well. And I'm searching for their name, and I can't not believe that I don't remember it. Anyway, it's Tara Snyder. That's who it was. I hope you all have a blast. And if you want to go to the concert, I'm sorry I don't have any more tickets to give away, but you can purchase tickets. It's real easy to find them. Just go to our website, 885jfm.com. Click on that banner. It says Elevation Nights, and it'll take you to where you need to go to get those tickets to have an amazing night of worship in Birmingham at the Legacy Arena this Sunday. Pastor Stephen Furtick is going to be with Elevation Worship. It's Elevation Nights. Again, that's this Sunday in Birmingham at the Legacy Arena. More info at 885jfm.com. I've got a story for you coming up here on the show about a little girl, 2 years old, who had an emergency, and mom taught her, if you have an emergency, you have to remember these 3 numbers. 911. Yeah, it's a cute story. Coming up next.
Greenville County 911. Hello, Greenville County 911. Hello.
Sounds like a tiny voice on the other end of that phone line. And it was. That's little Aaliyah. Aaliyah is only 2 years old. But you see, she was having a little bit of an emergency. And her mom has always taught her, because you got to tell your kids how to be safe. If you have an emergency, you go to the phone, you pick it up, and you dial 911. That's exactly what she did. She was just doing what mom said. But her emergency, it wasn't dire. It wasn't life or death, but she didn't know that. It was an emergency to her. So what happened next? Well, you see, police have to respond to those 911 calls regardless. So, out came a deputy. Her name is Martha Lones, and she showed up to quite an interesting situation. Here's a little more of what went down.
I've always told her to call him when she needed help, but I didn't know. I didn't know she would take it to that extent.
She just comes running around and she's like, hey! And she has one pant leg on and the other pant leg is off, and she's like holding on to him, like waving at me. So I helped her put her pants on. She asked me to help her put on her shoes. And then she just got up and like jumped in my arms and wouldn't let me go.
Aww, they became fast friends. Her emergency was she couldn't get her pants on. She needed help. And she didn't want to ask her granddad, who was in the next room. So she called for the police to come and help. And you know what? This hit close to this deputy's heart. Why? Well, because, you see, when Deputy Martha Lones was a kid, she did the same thing.
I would call 911 just because I wanted to see police officers show up at the house because I like them so much.
You got a new friend for life.
Absolutely love this story. Yeah, I know you're supposed to call 911 when you have an emergency, but the fact that this little girl recognized that she had an emergency and knew what to do is the moral of the story here. The cuteness is just a byproduct, and all the smiles and the giggles. I love sharing good news. I'm so glad I can do it right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And as long as I keep finding this good news, I'll keep sharing it with you. Who knows? It might make your day just a little bit better. That's what we're striving for here. So thanks for hanging out with me. And hey, if you enjoy what you're hearing, I wonder if you'd do me a favor. I put the show up as a podcast afterwards at 10:15 this morning. The talking segments will be together. This story will be on it. And if you really loved it, would you mind sharing it with a friend? Go to Spotify and just look up Lifeline Morning Show Podcast, and you'll see today's episode. And you can share it from there. You can put it on socials. You can do whatever you want to with it. We just want to bless people with some good news, and you can help us do that. So we'd greatly appreciate that. Well, some people decide to call it spooky season. I just call it October. But, there are some people out there who have an irrational fear of clowns. It's called coulrophobia. You ever heard that before? The only reason why I knew that word was because I follow Buford over on TikTok and his obscure words of the day. Yeah. So I wonder if you know somebody who's afraid of clowns. Well, I want you to stick around, because I've got a really good question you could ask them next time you see them. It's a crazy phenomenon, isn't it? I mean, when you take your kid to go see, the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus, or you just pick one of these big holidays that has a mascot, and your kid, well, you think they're going to love them, right? But there's something about them that just makes your kid cry. That ever happened to you? It did for my daughter, Grace. She was deathly afraid of Santa Claus for a long time. Oh, it's so funny. But that sticks around with some of us adults. And yes, some people, they become deathly afraid of, clowns. Why is that? You ever thought about that? Why clowns of all things? And especially now in October, considered spooky season. It's when you see a lot more clowns, I guess. I guess people dress up like that for that spooky night. But anyway, gosh, I gotta kill that music. It's creeping me out. Anyway, when did that start? I started doing a little bit of a Google search to find out. When did people become irrationally afraid of clowns? By the way, it's called coulrophobia. That's the name of it, the fear of clowns. And the top answer that I got was around the year 1980 when Stephen King's It came out. And I can tell you that I watched part of that movie when I was a kid. And I was afraid to take a shower for weeks after watching that because I didn't want to get sucked into the drain. It was terrible. And so I think maybe a lot of people are afraid of clowns because of that one movie. But then again, you think about it. Exaggerated facial features of clowns, the makeup, hiding the emotional signals that people usually give. Well, that could cause fear. But here's the question I want you to ask that friend of yours who doesn't like clowns. I want you to ask him, if you were watching someone put on clown makeup, at which point would the fear take over? Because you got to think through that. If you're watching the person put on the makeup, is it when the white makeup goes on? Is it when the red nose pops on? Is it when they put the wig on? What is it? The eyebrows? The big lips? What is it? Because maybe that will help them actually get through their fear of clowns. If they think of it like that, like there's an actual human wearing the makeup, at what point does it become scary for you? You might be able to help them work through some childhood trauma and they'll be okay with clowns now. You never know. So just ask the question and let's see. And I want to hear about the responses. So please let me know. Send me an email, Stephen with a V at 885jfm.com. Sound good? All right. As I prepare to bid you adieu for the day, I want to leave you with one final thought. Today's quote of the day from Walter Scott, who said, "Unless a tree has borne blossoms in spring, you will vainly look for fruit on it in autumn." The Bible talks all about fruit in our lives. What kind of fruit are you producing? I know there's some people who are glorified fruit inspectors. They say, I'm going to look at your fruit, and if I don't like it, I'm going to let you know about it. To which I would say, you just stay over there in your own orchard, buddy. But I wonder, how are the fruit of the Spirit growing in your life? There are 12 of them. Charity, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, generosity, gentleness, faithfulness, modesty, self-control, and chastity. Whoa, think about that for a second. How are those growing in your life? Are they shriveled up like raisins? Or are they big and juicy like a big, fuzzy, juicy peach? that you just, you look at it and you're like, I want a bite of that. So produce good fruit in your life today. It's not so easy. It takes some fertilizing and some watering. And you know what I found is that, and this is the one thing that I failed to mention earlier on in the show, for fruit trees to produce, believe it or not, there's got to be male and female parts, right? Cross-pollination has to happen. That tells me that we have to put ourselves around some pretty fruitful people if we want to be fruitful ourselves. So find those people, make them a part of your life, and see if some of that doesn't rub off on you, okay? Now go out there and have the best day ever, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow from 6 to 10 for another Lifeline Morning Show. I'll see you then.